With Rochester on pace to surpass the 2021 record of most homicides in a year, Congressman Joe Morelle wants the federal government to get more involved. Alex Love sat in on the announcement and joins us from the newsroom with more on what this partnership might look like. Alex.
Well, Representative Joe Morelle wants a federal intervention that brings in resources directly from the Department of Justice to coordinate what he calls a, quote, all-hands-on-deck approach, which mainly consists of cracking down on the usage and trafficking of illegal guns. In a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland, Representative Morelle calls on the Department of Justice to create a partnership like the Viper Task Force with RPD, the Sheriff's Office, and State Police, where the Department of Justice is directly involved by providing grants for hiring and other resources.
I think the challenge has been lack of emphasis by the Department of Justice on making certain that there's coordination between state, local officials and federal officials. But the point I really want to emphasize is the need for more federal prosecutions.
This partnership would demand U.S. attorneys prioritize prosecutions of unlawful firearm possessions and trafficking by improving how information on gun tracking is shared among agencies. Also expanding legislation on ghost guns being banned while adding red flag laws nationwide.
Federal judge with federal prosecutions has the right to consider how dangerous that person is to the community in making judgments about bail. State judges lack that ability. They're not allowed to use that. What you notice, federal prosecutions often take people off the streets so they can't recommit.
As a former police chief, we worked with federal partners, we worked with federal agencies, and we were successful. But again, where was Morelle's voice during the time of 2020 when we had the biggest defund the police movement? When I was the police chief, I never got a phone call from Joe Morelle.
Morelle's opponent for the New York 25th House seat, LaRon Singletary, is skeptical how this would work when the congressman hasn't gone out to speak directly to those in Rochester impacted by crime, and argues this approach ignores how criminals really get guns.
We have laws on the books, and we need to enforce those laws that are on the books. You know, more laws is not going to stop violence from occurring in our communities. And because there are consequences for those laws that are on the books, we need to make sure judges enforce the sentencing guidelines that we have within the state.
Representative Morelle has not yet met with Attorney General Merrick Garland for a deeper dive into what this collaborative effort would look like. However, he would vote for the bipartisan gun control legislation being drafted in the U.S. Senate right now. Teresa?
All right, Alex, thank you. Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter actually traveled to D.C. this week to discuss gun safety. They are testifying at the House of Representatives. News 8 conducted an exclusive interview with the sheriff. He says he wants to avoid making responsible gun store owners the bad guy. He also says he wants police to have the tools to address gun violence.
99% of the gun owners are great. 99% of the gun owners do it really well. But we found out with a gun dealer right here in Rochester that that one caused a lot of havoc. Hundreds of guns released on the streets of Rochester, and we had no tools to solve this.
Baxter says he wants to incentivize responsible gun ownership instead of criminalizing it.